All right. So I'm Catriona Jamieson. I also go by Cat, and it's a real pleasure to introduce the 5th annual Division of Regenerative Medicine Symposium. I can't believe it's been 5 years, and we've got some people who have been here for every single one of these. So it's becoming a little alumni association, I think. So I think that we're in a pivotal time for stem cell research. When we used to talk about stem cell research, we would talk about what was on the cell surface. It was a very surface or superficial way of looking at stem cells, and now we're deep into stem cells. We're into the molecular underpinnings of stem cells. There are niches, that's just for Paul. We have a lot of opportunities to translate discoveries extremely quickly, and that's something that CIRM, the California Institute for Regenerative Medicine, with Maria Milan here, thank you Maria, and Bob Klein, the architect of CIRM, both here, have managed to give us this unique opportunity to help patients to have therapies that didn't exist before. And the reason we can do that so quickly here is we have 600 biotech and pharma companies around us. And instead of thinking us versus them, it's just us. We're all in this together, right, John? So this is something that we tend to do here. We share information. We're really pleased to have two of our Alpha Clinic directors here, Meredith Betty and Mark Walters. Who here saw 60 Minutes last Sunday? Right? This was on stem cell gene therapy for sickle cell anemia. I think we could do a 60 Minutes on so many of the things we're already doing within the Alpha Clinic network and that you in the room are doing to develop new technologies that will enhance endogenous repair and regeneration. And I think, we've sort of thought very parochially or very narrowly about how stem cell research can have an impact on medicine. We don't just have to deliver cellular therapies. Just by enhancing endogenous repair, regeneration, or preventing tissue destruction, as David Cherish does, by targeting cancer stem cells, and then Roel Noose does, by enhancing liver regeneration and understanding liver cancer, I think we can get at the bottom of some of these dire diseases. And then there are more difficult diseases like neurological diseases that I think are going to take some more work. But we'll have a whole session on that at the end of the day. It's really a pleasure to introduce our chair for the first session. I think you'll be excited by the speakers, but also the chair is rather accomplished. So Dr. John Hood is here. He was a postdoctoral fellow in David Cherish's lab and spectacularly successful. Thought getting science papers was just too easy. And for the rest of us, that's daunting, but not for John. John is one of the most energetic people I've ever met, but probably the most compassionate. He does the right thing even when no one else is looking. And maybe that's the way we can guide each other in this field, where we'll have unique opportunities but an onerous responsibility to get it right. John is the co-founder and the CEO of Impact Biomedicines. He's moved on to do other great things with Miguel, who's also here in the audience. You'll see that this transition from industry to academia and back again is really pretty fluid. And then, we have leaders here like Larry Goldstein and Dennis Carson that have provided their considerable expertise to guide us. Of course, this is not just a San Diego phenomenon. We do this in California without even thinking about it. We have the stem cell research and the fellows that have been trained and gone on to do great things, and the Alpha Clinic Network serving 20 million people. So we really want to keep that going. And of course, we want Bob to prevail on the next proposition. No pressure, Bob. In 2020. So we'll hear more about that at the roundtable discussion at around noon. So without much further ado, I'd like to introduce John Hood to come and start the first session. And please feel free to interject or ask questions throughout the session. We really don't want to leave you with a burning question that you don't get an answer to. Thank you, John.